Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a great day wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. Now this is all stuff I had left over from other videos that I wanted to talk about but didn't. But in this video, I'm going to be straightforward and honest with all of you. And I want to point out a few things. So if you're still a soldier in the red versus blue war, they've got you right where they want you. Now here in the United States, every time there's an election, we get promises of all kinds of things. They tell us they're going to do this for us and that for us. Then they get to Washington and all that goes out the window. I absolutely love the United States. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in God. I care about all people. I don't care where you came from, what religion you are, what race you are. I care about all of you. That's why I make these videos every single day. I want all of you to get rich. I want you to be financially free. I want you to go out and do all those great things you always wanted to do. That's what this channel's always been about, but I'm not going to hold back on the truth that I see happening throughout the world at the same time. And the thing is, we have a lot going on here in the United States. And people said, you talk like you're so pro-Russia. I'm absolutely not pro-Russia. And I care about the war that's going on over there. A lot of very innocent people are dying. And at the same time, a lot of politicians are enriching themselves at the same time. The quickest way to fix the problem is to roll back regulation and announce that American oil leases are open for business. That, in this crisis, the U.S. government won't stand in your way. Relief at the gas pump would be almost immediate. And that's the truth. If we had energy independence here in the United States, we wouldn't have to rely on Saudi Arabia for oil, and that's exactly where they're pushing us. Like I said before, after the elections, we're headed into a energy crisis. As energy prices soar, it's worth noting that the entire crisis was avoidable had Western Europe taken the warnings from the East seriously and had the U.S. stood firm on its commitment to support the transition away from an over-dependence on Russia. We even warned other countries, break away from Russia, don't depend on Russia for energy, and they laughed. Well, here they are now in an energy crisis. Now they're reverting back to coal. Congressional Democrats are moving fast and emphatically on efforts to try to block future U.S. weapon sales to Saudi Arabia after its decision last week to cut oil production amid a looming global energy crisis sparked by Russia's war on the Ukraine. So now we're not going to sell them guns anymore. We should have never sold them any weapons, in fact, because here's the thing. In this country, on the news media, they teach us that Saudi Arabia is the enemy. We shouldn't be dealing with Saudi Arabia at all. But here we are selling them weapons and buying oil from them. Jamie Dimon, now this guy earned my respect because he finally spoke out and said it exactly like it needed to be said. Is someone that I've always loved to listen to, very wise, and I'm glad he's the CEO of JP Morgan. I have no fear owning this company as long as he's around. I couldn't have said it better myself. Hopefully the U.S. can learn from this. So he said, we're getting energy completely wrong. Dimon argues the green energy fantasy has made the climate worse. We have it completely backwards. Finally, somebody speaks up and says it like it is. This is serious. JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon warns U.S. likely to tip into recession in 6 to 9 months. And he's right. The Fed is actually pushing us to that point. I mean, at some point, the dollar is going to start falling. We could already see it about to happen. You can't go up this way and not come back down. U.S. Treasury Secretary Yellen. We haven't seen any indications of financial instability in our markets. Yellen. I'm not seeing anything in the markets that cause me to be concerned. Yellen. I'm not concerned about market liquidity. Well, soon she probably will be once we head into the liquidity crisis that's most likely going to come at some point. At that point, they'll have no other choice but to talk to Ripple and bring in XRP for on-demand liquidity to fix the major problem. U.S. senators introduced Digital Trading Clarity Act. Once passed, analysts believe the legislation will not only provide digital asset businesses with much needed certainty, but also boost digital currency growth and liquidity. You take notice how they always mention liquidity because they want to get you so familiar with that word that when they finally say we're headed into a liquidity crisis, it'll just seem like one of the many crises that we've already endured. Except one thing, it'll be much worse. It'll affect you personally when you go to try to get your money from the bank. This is why I tell people outside of crypto all the time. You can't leave your faith into the hands of paper money anymore. Our money is backed by absolutely nothing. At least put some money into crypto. Maybe at some point in your life it'll change you financially. You'll have financial freedom. And I know that liquidity crisis is coming. Otherwise, they wouldn't talk about it so much. Chip industry grapples with U.S. curbs on China sales. Now, because China's pulling away from the dollar, all of a sudden we go after the chip industry to try to bring China to its knees. But then what happens is China will find another way to hurt the US dollar. They're working on it with all those other countries right now. They're pushing us to a point where we're going to have no choice but to fight back. And how do we fight back? With on-demand liquidity. The U.S. Federal Reserve and other major central banks around the world are preparing to tighten monetary policy. Banks' liquidity may be reduced, and financing conditions could worsen. Now, that was on October 8th, so we know they're already getting us ready for it. Little by little, they're building for that big crisis to come. But we're going to face much more before that happens because they're pushing all of this. This is all man-made. This isn't a crisis that happened by accident. This is a crisis that they're purposely doing. We need the DXY to go down for Bitcoin to go up. People are actually wanting the US dollar to lose value. All over crypto Twitter, people are saying, I just wish the DXY would fall. And the reason for that is because in history, every time the dollar fell, we went on a bull run. Every crypto is going to go on that bull run, Bitcoin included. But now I see things a lot different. There's a good chance that XRP can still take off without the DXY falling. Utility run could happen. A lot of people are pushing for that narrative also. They're saying, why can't we go on a damn utility run already? Wouldn't it be great if a utility run started right now? Especially when the price of XRP starts moving upward, all of a sudden euphoria sets in and people think this is it. This is the time we go. Everybody that was sitting on the sidelines for all these months waiting for a massive dip, they're going to be left behind because this is that moment. But then when it doesn't happen, all of a sudden the narrative shifts again. Then people are like, oh, I thought that was going to be the one. And that's how crypto works. Certain crypto. Mostly the cryptos that people believe are going to get to high prices, such as XRP. XLM's in there also. So hopefully DXY reaches its top soon so it can crash down hard. Like I said, that's what people are waiting for. Bitcoin holders most likely want this more than anyone else in the crypto space because I believe Bitcoin might have had its day. If utility takes over, Bitcoin's pretty much done. It'll be left behind. It'll be with us for years to come, but it'll be left behind in whatever run we go on. But a utility run is going to be much different, I believe, because if we've never seen one happen before. We don't know how long they last. We don't know how high these cryptos can get based off of utility and use case, real world use case. So I would love to see that scenario play out, only because I know as an XRP holder that my XRP can reach levels only dreamed of by the people that are still looking at market cap and previous cycles. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens, but I just wanted to show you what's going on you know, with the leftover stuff I had from other videos that I thought was worth a mention, and I figured I'd share it with all of you. I want to thank you all for watching all my videos. I mean, you're all great. You built this channel into something I never thought it would become. And I appreciate all of you. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.